Guys, let us have a look at the second stanza, okay? And die strofe is baie dubbelsinnigheid, so in the stanza there's a lot of ambiguity, alright? It says here, die verskillende persoonlikhede van die hart word deur metafore beklemtoon, okay? So different personalities of the heart are emphasized through metaphors, okay? Let us read lines 9. Okay, lines 9 it says, jy was die gas en gas hier by die fees, die ceremoniemeester en die nar. Okay, you are the guest and host at the party, the master of ceremonies and the clown. Okay, let's look at the first point over here. It says, teenstrydige emoties is hier te sprake. Okay, so here there are conflicting emotions at play. Die hart het contrasterende persoonlikhede. Okay, the heart symbolized very contrasting personalities or karakter verzinnenbeeld, okay, or different characters, okay, different character, het onvoorspelbaar opgetree, okay, here, she acted unpredictable, okay, sy het nie geweet wat die hart volgende gaan aanvang nie, okay, so she didn't know what the heart would do next, okay, you know, she didn't know the heart's next move, okay, it says here, jy, okay, the heart, okay, die hart was die gas, okay, the heart was the guest, okay, and what is the guest? It is die persoon wat onthaal en bedien word, of die besoeker, okay, so the person who is entertained and served, or the visitor, okay, that is what a guest is, okay, so the heart was the guest, and die gasheer, okay, and the host, okay, a host is wat ander onthaal en bedien, it is someone who entertains and serves others, okay, so you can't, first of all, you can't be a guest and a host at your own party, you gotta pick a side, okay. So, gas over here, die positiewe emoties van geluk was in die spreker se lewe, en sy het dit gekooster en versorg soos jy 'n gas sal behandel, okay, so over here, the guest, you know, positive emotions of happiness, where the speaker talks about how she was, she nurtured and cared for them, as how, a guest would be treated, okay, so she cared for the heart, nurtured it, you know, this is my guest, you know, how we treat guests with respect, and then it says here, die hart was die ceremoniemeester, hy laat dink volgend plan verloop by 'n funksie, in die nar, iemand wat ander vermaak met sy grappies, wat laf is, okay, so over here the heart was the master of ceremonies, like he makes things go according to plan at a function, and he was also the clown, okay, a clown is someone who entertains others with his joke, okay, someone that is silly, okay, wat laf is, so, it says here, was, okay, was over here, written in the past tense, okay, that was in the past tense, you were the guest and the host, we had fun, we did this, okay, so these are all things that happened in the past, okay, it was in the past, but now there's no verby, okay, it's now over, okay, from lines 9 to 10, we see metaphor and personifications in place, okay, metafoor en personifikasie, okay, and not over here, okay, nar is 'n goeie woordkeuse om die hart meer te beskryf, want eers het die hart haar laat lag, omdat sy positiewe emosies ervaar het, maar nou voel sy asof haar emosies haar uitlag en verwaard laat voel. Okay, so at first, over here we by nar, okay, so the word nar, clown, it's a good choice of words over here to describe the heart, okay, and why, okay, it says here, at first her heart made her laugh, okay, eers het die hart haar laat lag, okay, but then she because she experienced positive emotions and all that, but now she feels as if her emotions are laughing back at her, okay, and it's making her feel confused, alright. And there is a contrast in lines 9, okay, gas versus gasheer, and lines 10, ceremoniemeester and a nar, okay, you can't be both, you gotta pick one, okay, it's either you're the entertainer or the entertainee, okay, and in this line, lines 10 over here, we see a double punt, a colon, okay, na die dubbelpunt volg 'n verduideliking, okay, so an explanation will follow after the after the colon, sorry, and also, we also have the repetition of the G sound, like gas here, okay, alliterasie, it says here, jou dwaase raad kan net die hoof verwaar, okay, your foolish advice can only confuse the head, okay, die spreker se gevoel het egter nou teneer die hart verander, okay, so now the speaker's feelings towards the heart has changed, okay, sy het besef dat die hart haar nie toegelaat het om realistiese besluit te neem nie, omdat die hart na emosies luister, okay, so she realized that the heart did not love her, shame, what a pity, and allowed her to make a realistic decision because the heart listens to her emotions. That's also another thing There needs to be a balance. Okay? Die hart het dwaase raad gegee. Okay, the heart gave foolish advice. Okay, when something is foolish, we mean like it's dom or it's wrong, verkeerde. Okay, hier die reël sluit aan by strofe 1, waar die hart as hulle vaart of besluite loop voortvaarheen beskryf word. Okay, so this line connects to stanza 1, guys. You remember in stanza 1 when the head was saying, yes, net a loss, you are a lafard, you are this, you know, those derogatory term that they used. Okay. Yes, so it kind of connects with stanza 1, okay? Because now here we're telling the heart your foolish advice, okay? Cool. It says here die raad van die hart het haar die mekaar gemaak. Okay, so the advice from the heart confused her. She was a bit confused, okay? Die hart het die hoof verwaar of was onvoorspelbaar. Duis kon nie die hoof nie besluite neem nie, okay? Okay, so the heart confused the head. You know, the heart is unpredictable and therefore the head does not make decisions himself, okay? And in that line, lines 9 to 10, there's a lot of bitterness in that line, okay? Daar is baie bitterheid in hierdie reël. Cool. 12. It says here, waar elke tree die laaste tree mag wees, okay? Where each step may be the last step, okay? Jy die dom of dwaase raad van die hart kan vir haar lelike gevolge inhou, okay? So, the advices that the heart gave, the stupid, the foolish advice that the heart gave, had like very ugly consequences for her, okay? It looks like it was the brain that suffered the consequence of the heart's action, okay? And try over here, step, okay? We're referring to haar lewenspad, okay? Her life path, okay? Haar lewenspad saam met haar is gevaarlik en kan tot die dead lei, okay? So, her life path with the heart is dangerous and could lead, can lead to death, okay? Something negative, eet negatiefs, okay? Because look, it says last try, last step, okay? Just because of the heart's dumb decision, we might end up dying one day. Okay, daar is gevare en daarom is dit vir die spreker belangrik dat sy lewe na haar verstaan moet luister, okay? So over here there are dangers and therefore it is important for the speaker to listen to her mind, okay? It's like, nope, don't want to take chances anymore, gotta live you, okay? So it says here, last try, okay? Last step, okay? We refer to death, okay? Die dood word versaag, okay? The death is being mitigated, okay? And that's an example of euphemism. In die laaste twee reël is die toon intens eers vir dadelik beëindig moes word, is nou nie so maklik nie, maar moet gedoen word. Okay, so in the last two lines, the tone is intense, but something had to be ended immediately, and it wasn't so easy, but it had to be done. Okay, it says, ja, kyk, dit word gelaat, die kermis is verby. Okay, so, the verb kyk over here, die werkwoord kyk aan die begin van vers reël 13, is soos 'n instruksie of bevel wat sy aan die hart gee. Okay, so, the verb at the beginning of line 13 is like an instruction or a command that she gives the heart. She's like, hey, look, it is over, it's late, the fair is over, it's like, hey, we're done, okay, ons is klaar. So, sy praat hier direct met die hart en sê dat die kermis, okay, kermis, a fair, you know a fair, it is roller coasters or that spinning wheel, okay, the fair or the fees, al die lekker ding, of die groot partytjie, of pret, of die lewe as 'n malamule, okay. So, the festival or the fun things, the big party, the merry-go-round, the whatever is gone, it's finished, okay? It's over, okay? And it was in the past, it was something that was in the past, dit is eers van die verlede. It happened before, and now, when I look ahead, I do not want to continue my walk with you. It says, ja, die komas maak die tempo stadiger. Okay, the commas, if you look here, kyk, comma, that word, comma, die kermis is verby, comma, it kind of like slows down the tempo, right? Because remember, a comma, it is there to put like a pause to the sentence. So we keep on pausing. It's like, you know, a car when you drive, you stop like, stop. Yeah. So it's making the tempo really slow. Okay, cool. Where are we? There we go, okay? So, it says here, beklemtoon die besef dat die emosies en verstand nou moet skei. Okay, so it emphasizes that the realization that the emotions and the mind must separate. Okay? Cool. It says here, dit is asof sy die hart wil dwing om hier na haar te luister met die werkwoord aan die begin van die reël. Okay, it is as if she wants to force the heart to listen to her with the verb at the beginning of the line, because she's like, hey, kyk, look here, it's over, the fair is over. Okay, die doellose lewe moet nou gestop word. Okay, so that aimless life must now be stopped. It's over, want die lewe is te kort. Okay, dit word laat. Okay, because life is short, it is late. Okay, and now by lines 14 he goes as far as saying, kan jy dit nie begryp? Okay, can you not grasp it? Can you not understand? Hier moet ons skei, okay? Here we must part. Okay, so we have a rhetorical question over here. Okay, rhetorical question is a question that doesn't need an answer. Okay, it says here, sy sukkel om van die haat afskeid te neem. Die haat moet die situasie verstaan. Okay, so she's struggling to say goodbye to the heart. The heart needs to understand the situation. We can't move on. It says here, die besluit is nie so maklik soos wat sy gedink het nie. So the decision is not as easy as she thought it was. Okay, because it's hard to let go. So die retoriese vraag betrek die leser sodat die leser daaroor kan dink en verstaan hoe emosies jou deur mekaar kan maak. Okay, so the rhetorical question is there to engage us, okay, to engage the reader so that the reader can think about it and understand how emotions can confuse you. Okay, very confusing. Okay, weglating van die tweede nie aan die einde van die vraag is ter wille van die ritme. Okay, so that Alicia at the end, where is it? Okay, the omission of the second nie over here at the end of the sentence is for the sake of rhyme or rhythm. Okay, it says here moet ons skei. Here we need to separate. We have to part ways. Okay, this is the final decision, finale besluit. Okay, the moet, we must, it's a must, we gotta do it. Okay, sy kies haar verstaan of logika, rede, bo haar emosies of heart. Okay, so she chooses her mind, her logic, her reasoning over her emotion and heart. Okay, sy weet, sy moet, maar die besluit is nie maklik nie. Okay, so she knows that she must, but now the decision is not easy. Okay, easier said than done. Okay, cool. And it says here, of sy dit wel uiteindelik gaan doen, weet ons nie. Okay, this is so sad, guys. Imagine you have to separate with someone you had fun with, you lived or spent most of your life with. Okay, so this whether she will actually do it to the end, we don't know. We don't know if she's going to actually agree on the breakup or anything. We do not know. Okay, so it says here, die besluit is teensinnig en daar is vertwyfeling. Sy weet nie of sy die regte besluit neem nie. Die laaste twee versreël is die clear marks. Okay, so she doesn't know if she's making the right decision. In the last two lines there is a climax. Okay, so we answer something. Cool. It says here, dit beklemtoon die spreker se finale besluit. Okay, die laaste twee versreël sluit by die eerste twee versreël aan. Dit bind die gedig tot 'n eenheid. Herhaling van sky in versreël 1 en versreël 14. Sukkelgang, herhaling van hier in versreël 1 en versreël 14. Dit beklemtoon dat die spreker finaal besluit het om die haat te verlaat. Okay, sy kies haar verstaan bo haar emosies. Okay, so now this over here, the last two lines, okay, it emphasizes her final decision. Okay, the speaker's final decision, and the last two lines also connects with the first two lines. Okay, it binds the poem together, and also the repetition of separate in line 1 and line 14. It's kind of like an ongoing cycle. Okay, and the repetition of here, okay, in lines 1 and in 14, it emphasizes that the speaker has finally decided to leave the heart. Okay, bye-bye. She chooses her mind over her emotion. Okay, and it says here in versreël 1 maak die ek haar intensieus duidelik. Okay, so in lines 1, the I makes her intentions clear. Okay, so in lines 3 to 12, okay, dwaal die spreekster af. Okay, sy volg soos haar hart, haar eie pad, en in versreël 13 en 14 word die sirkel voltooi. Sy besef waaroor dit eintlik gaan, and then we have assonance, assonansie, herhaling van I en I. Okay, so in lines 1, the I makes her intention clear, and in lines 3 to 12, the speaker goes astray. Okay, she follows her own road. Okay, she says bye-bye to the heart, and in lines 13 to 14, it's like a circle is completed. Okay, she realizes what it's really about. Okay, she's decided that it's over. Okay, full stop. Bye-bye. And in this line, we have assonance, there's a repetition of the Y and the I sound, okay? And here we have an irony, okay? Ironie, okay? Die spreker wil van die haat ontslaai raak, maar dit is nie moontlik nie. Ons het ons harte nodig om te kan oorleef. Okay, so there's an irony over here. The speaker wants to get rid of what? Her heart. Okay, but it's impossible because we need our hearts to survive. That's the irony, and that's it for this recording. Thank you so much, guys.